Hey guys, I'm DeltaKey and you're watching a video walkthrough of Cave Story Plus. This is a platform adventure game originally made over the course of 5 years by Japanese developer Daisuke Pixel Amaya. It is heavily inspired by the games he played in his childhood, such as Castlevania and Metroid. The development started as a passion project, which is why Pixel initially released the complete game in 2004 on his website completely free of charge and for anyone to play. It slowly gained popularity after the self-published release, eventually becoming one of the most iconic games of the 2000s. Then, in 2010, Pixel started working together with an indie developer Nicalis to port Cave Story on Wii U and DSe. An enhanced version of the game with remastered graphics and music appeared on Steam in 2011 and on 3DS console in 2012. Not too long ago, in 2017, it was also released on Nintendo Switch with minor gameplay alterations. Finally, in 2020, Cave Story Plus was released in Epic Games Store, which is the version I am playing now. In this complete walkthrough, I will focus on getting all endings of the game, gathering and showing off all weapons, locating all upgrades and life capsules, and showing you the general boss strategies. I will not be getting the Steam achievements for this game as I currently own an Epic Games Store version, but I will give tips on ones that require specific actions for completion. As you can see, there's a menu on the left. There I will leave a map of the main area or areas, marking hard capsules and upgrades with red and other collectibles with green. There will be some game trivia in the bottom of the menu, including the character and enemy sprites and their names. And now let's tackle the controls. The game is originally played with the keyboard, but I'm using the DS4 controller. In order to set it up, navigate to the Options tab using your keyboard and choose Gamepad. Now you can set up the buttons. The layout I prefer can be seen in the menu. I tend to use either R2 or R1 as my fire button. It may seem weird and confusing, but there are some sections of the game that require shooting and holding the jump button at the same time, which is very hard to do using the conventional circle and square. With that out of the way, let us get into the game. There are 3 difficulties: easy, original, and hard. On the easy difficulty, enemies deal 50% less damage and have 50% less health. On hard difficulty, they have double the health, and you can only get 2 life capsules throughout the game, which limits your total life to 8, which is why we are gonna be playing on normal. Well, here comes the cave part of the cave story. Immediately climb up and press down on your D-pad to open the door. Take notice of the weird blocks on the right and go left. Be careful with the spikes as they deal 5 damage, which is more than enough to kill you in one hit. Not like it ever happened to me, right? You immediately see the first enemy of the game, just a normal bat, the type you would most likely see in a cave. Avoid the flying rodents, jump up and interact with the red object to get the first life capsule. Congrats, you now have 6 life. Continue going through your cave, avoiding monsters and spikes. Water will also hinder your movement. Jump over a new enemy called a power critter and enter the lion-shaped grate. Here you'll be greeted by the snoozing gunsmith Tetsuo Kamadani. Open that inviting-looking chest to get a first weapon of the game called the Polar Star. Nice. After this mysterious transmission, say goodbye to the sleeping gunsmith and go back to the cave. You can now shoot with a fire button. Though the gun is kinda weak. Get rid of the bats and critters. Enemies in Cave Story sometimes drop hearts and yellow triangles, which serve as experience points. Every time you accumulate a level, your weapon powers up, but you lose some XP upon hit, so be careful. You can also shoot upwards, like you would normally do in a platformer. break the blocks, and kill some more critters. Now we go for the door. Right? Run! This is actually the one and only monster door in the game, incidentally called the door. And it is there to show you how ruthless this game can be at times. Take care of it and get XP to level up your gun. Now go save. Saving is important. The enemies will respawn, allowing you to get some more XP. And then you just interact with the door normally and watch another cutscene. And with this dramatic Alice-style entrance, we are in the Mimiga village, which is the home of these fluffy, bunny-like creatures. Who's that pseudo? I'll soon find out. Go to the left to get to Reservoir. Here you have to carefully jump from the hill and land on the platform, which can be a bit tricky due to how slippery it is. Yikes. Speak with another NPC called Kenpachi, the most dedicated angler in the world. Drop into the water and grab that shiny. It's a silver locket. Go past the eggfish just chilling there without killing him to get a Steve achievement Fish Preserve. Get back to the entrance to meet Toroko, who runs away all anime girl-like. She then knocks King half out unconscious and runs away. Drop down to check up on the house to find it locked. Huh. Go up to check with Machin, the ever-eating one, to get some insight on his preferences in girls and some more tidbits about you. Dragons though. Climb up to the Yamashita farm and chat with Sandaime, who will explain the concept of a flower farm. Take note of the red flowers he mentions, by the way. Drop down to the water bottle to get another life capsule. Oh no, we're drowning. Not really. Get back to the village for yet another secret. Drop down to the platform and jump to the right to receive a map system, which also nets you a Steve achievement. Not bad. Go back to the top and turn to the right to the assembly hall. There is something on the other side of the chimney, which we'll get a bit later. Chat with another Mimiga called Jack to learn why the cemetery is closed off. Before entering the door on the right, save the game, because sometimes you get messed up real bad, and you wouldn't want to be caught without a save at that moment. The little hot box on the right will restore your health. Now enter the shack to encounter your first boss of the game, Toroko. Jump over her and open fire. Good job, you are a murderer now. Well, not quite, as Toroko gets up, apparently healthy and relieved you are not an enemy. Or are you? Somebody knocks on the door and huzzah! A wild Balrog appears. Here's the first real boss fight of the game, but you are given a dialogue option. Wait, right? Though you would definitely press yes, especially because it gives you an achievement for that. Now, Balrog is really easy if you have a level 2 gun. Just jump and shoot him till he loses his skull and flies away. Ta-da! You're victorious. Collect the XP and go through the door. Unless... say it's a normal human logic to avoid conflict, right? Especially because he doesn't know you, doesn't know what side you're on, and he's just a busy piece of soap. Run back to the village. The Mimigas have something to say about the abducted Toroko, and they seem really crestfallen upon receiving the news. Oh, there's a bright side on this, as Jack goes and finally lets you into the cemetery. If you're somehow stuck, just talk to him, he will tell you the location of the key, which is indeed there. Cemetery is overrun by small pinions, mushroom enemies, and there is a weird froggy gravekeeper here, who looks a lot more like a grave robber. Dismantle him from the back and move on. The great pinions don't pose much threat, but they make a scary face. Boo. Interact with the grave to receive a key. Look at the grass for a sec. I zoomed in here and you might notice a small figure running around. Can't do anything with him for now, so just keep moving forward to the Arthur's house. Open the door and go in. Kinda modern, huh? Save the game and interact with the PC to allow teleportation to the next region. Check out the flowers down below and be utterly surprised with their color. On that note, I'll let the guy have some sleep, and I'll see you in the next episode.